here we are at Sigma, having Dr. Jane, amazing person. I've met her many times, and she keeps on inspiring me. Dr. Jane Thomason is the chief editor, Metaverse and Web3 Frontier in blockchain. So she's talking next level technology, the future technologies, if you want to call them. How are you seeing today the summit itself? You've been here since yesterday. What do you think about the summit?
Look, I think it's fantastic. I went to my first Sigma conference here, I think it was in 2022, and I've been to many conferences in Dubai and around the world, and it's absolutely one of my favourites. And I think they do such a great job on curating really high quality speakers, interesting panels, and now they're moving into esports, and they're moving into AI and continuing the blockchain crypto story. And you can really get insights here and meet people that you can't do anywhere else. So I love it.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting. I know you've been an advocate of women in technology. I'm not going to run away from this question, but you've been involved heavily in this space. And you are also, you have a panel on this talking about it, it's the same. What do you think about women in tech, and what are the biggest challenges that women faces in this industry, and what strategies and businesses and policymakers, I think most importantly, we've seen UAE on the forefront enforcing this in the space, from different aspects on supporting women, to really foster greater inclusion, leadership opportunities so that they can grow and then have the safe environment for them to be able to maneuver in it?
Well, the first thing that I think we need is really excellent role models, because I think if women are going to excel in tech, they have to demonstrate that they're equally good as anyone else in the field. And they therefore need to be able to see other women who have achieved success in tech. And I think that's the most important thing. And when I do panels like the one that I'm going to do, what I'm looking for is really accomplished women who just can shine by their example and show that it's possible to be successful in tech. I actually think that tech is a great area for women to be involved in, because it is something that's flexible. You can do it any time of the day. You can do it from home. If you have family, you can do it when the kids are asleep. And so it's not something where you have to be 9 to 5 sitting in an office. So I think it's a super flexible area for women to get involved in. The kinds of things that prevent women from being involved in tech is sometimes their own lack of confidence, or their own lack of knowledge, or their own lack of a network. So I think we need to give them those kind of networks, those kinds of mentors who can help them understand how to be successful in the space. And I think we need to give them confidence, because it's fair to say that if you walk into a room of 1,000 crypto bros, it is a little bit intimidating. Yeah, but I think it's, helping people. Actually, most of them are super nice, but understanding that it's okay to be able to walk in those environments and have conversations and be part of it is also important.
I totally agree. Having more women involved so that they can inspire. And then we are in the UAE. UAE is positioning itself as the leader in emerging technologies. How do you see, what impacts do you see that is having on industries such as gaming and fintech? And before giving you the mic, I was attending a panel, and they mentioned that they went into a conference and then they were doing studies where women would not indulge saying that I do play games, because there's a stereotype in it. So what's your take, not on this, but in general on the discussion?
Well, I think that what that underscores is that every region, every culture is different, and the appropriateness of speaking in public spaces can be different. And so I think that what we need to understand is it's not necessary, and this is not just the Middle East, this is a lot of different cultures around the world. You can't put women in an open public forum and expect them to stand up and speak about every topic, because it may not be appropriate. It may be something that normally would be done in women's gatherings or in the privacy of their own homes. I mean, I learnt when I came here back in 2021 and was trying to convene sustainability events, often women don't want to physically come to events. They're happy to be in a group, they're happy to do virtual meetings, but they prefer to perhaps stay home with their families and engage not face-to-face. And so I'd brought my cultural bias, which was people want to come and be in one place, and in fact they don't. And so I think we have to learn, those of us who are not from here and in every culture we go to understand what are the special nuances of that culture that determine what's appropriate for women to do.
What untapped opportunities exist in the Middle East and North Africa? And how can companies leverage this potential to drive both economic growth and cultural transformation, especially empowering women for that to be on the forefront and be part of this economy?
Well, I think the huge thing is the fact, particularly in technology, with internet connectivity, you don't have to be physically somewhere else. I was talking recently to a woman who trains young women in coding and software development in Bangladesh. She's trained 25,000 young women, and they don't need to leave their villages in order to do her training courses. And so we have a huge potential workforce of women that we can enable with skills. And I think one of the points that I want to make is that you can have skills to work in tech that don't require a university degree. Traditionally, we've always thought you have to have a Bachelor of Engineering or something. But now, with software development, with 3D rendering, new skills that are going to be needed for technology, you can learn that in your own home on an internet platform, and then you can start selling those skills globally, not just in the region, but globally. So, back to your question, which is how can you harness and unleash that workforce? It's thinking about how you find ways that you can get people skills ready and job ready, and then match them to the jobs, because that you can train 1 million people, but if you're not matching them to jobs, they can't work. Yeah, and I think that's also engaging with employers about what are the skills they want. The opportunities are better for everyone and for women than they have been ever in my lifetime.
I'm really inspired by how you can support millions upon millions that are still, we call them before unbanked, but it's uneducated or untapping into this talents, So I think the whole education system needs changing. You mentioned that you don't need a bachelor degree. I think you need to format all of this into what is basic learning, and then start doing it in a very special way after specialization. This is what you mentioned. And this is where I think technology could play a big role. There's a lot of advancements in AI, blockchain, and the metaverse, which could help. How do you see this emerging technology shaping the future of gaming in MENA? And what role will women be playing and driving this transformation specifically? Not just playing, driving, because we want more women leaders such as yourself, but from the region also.
Well, I want to share a story with you. Back in 2022, I went to my first LEAP conference, and I was talking to a lot of women at the conference about where women could get mentoring from other women and exchange views with other women. And we said, let's start a WhatsApp group. That was 2022. The WhatsApp group's now got more than 1,000 members, and people are sharing and exchanging and also sharing when they've made achievements and so forth, and supporting each other. So I think it's things like that just give women somewhere to go to talk to other women, to learn about opportunities. In terms of leadership, this is really up to you and me, because you need to be prepared and have the courage to stand up in front of people, to say, I'm prepared to lead. I've lessons in my life and I'll share them with you so you too can grow, because we grow on the shoulders of people who've come before us. And so I think that that's also like a personal challenge to women in this region, to be courageous enough to stand up and say, yes, I will lead. I will show other women. I'll show our daughters and our granddaughters what the opportunities are and share my life experiences. So, I think that we can't ask someone else to do it for us. We have to do it for ourselves. Governments can create enabling environments and make sure everyone's got really good internet coverage, and companies can provide the platforms to teach people. But in the end, if you're going to be a leader, no one can make you a leader. One day you have to step into that chasm and just do it.
It's really interesting, and thank you for your role in pushing women forward, especially in the region, because you're highly involved in this region. So I'd like to thank Dr. Jane Thomason on being with us today and sharing some of the wise points or her wisdom, if I want to call it, in how we can really get more women involved in the space of technology, because we do need more women in tech, more women in gaming, more women trying to be leaders in the space, and then how we can support them. I've won once. I enjoyed it, but it's not because I won. A man ally of women in tech. So it really meant something for me, because I'm really trying to push the women agenda myself. But then what I discovered is the same reasoning, that we need more women to inspire more women. Definitely we have to do our job, but anyway, thank you, Dr. Jane, for being with us. I hope you enjoy the rest of the summit. I know you have a panel, so here you go, jump. I'm going to set you free. Stay with us. There's more. Thank you.